Hello guys, today we're going to talk about sequences. Sequence is basically a series of numbers and we are trying to establish, is there a pattern in the numbers? Take a look at the two sequences that I have here and see, is there a pattern in one of the sequences? You should notice that here in A, that there's a pattern of adding 3 to get to the next term. In example B, to get to the next term, we add 5, then we added 6, and then here we added 7. Now both of these have some sort of a pattern, but one of them have a pattern that is more special, and that is going to be example A. Because these values here are all the same, we say that this is an arithmetic sequence. This is not, because the pattern is not the same. So if your pattern is the same to produce the next term, then it is arithmetic. If the pattern is different, then it is not. What we can do if we have an arithmetic sequence is we can figure out other terms in the series using something that is called the recursive formula. All right, so the recursive formula says that any value in the series is the previous term minus or plus the difference, depending on if the values are getting bigger or smaller. Now this is probably new notation for you, a sub n and a sub n minus 1. So let's think about what that means. This n value here represents the position in the series. So for example, in this first part here, this is the first term, so we would call this a sub 1. This would be a sub 2, a sub 3, a sub 4, and so forth. All right? So this tells me that if I want to know the value of any term, it's a sub n minus 1. So this means the previous, the one that is before it, and here this d represents the difference in the terms. So here there's a difference of plus 3. So for instance, if I were to take this formula here and I told you to find a sub 5, that means that we are looking for the 5th term in this series. So that means that we need to take the previous term, so it would be a, our n is going to be 5, so 5 minus 1 plus d. All right? Well, 5 minus 1 is really 4, so this is equal to a sub 4 plus the difference, and we see here that the difference is plus 3. We can look at our series and we can see that the 4th term in the series was 13. So that means that a sub 5 is equal to 13 plus 3, which is going to equal 16. So that means that the 5th term in this series would be 16. All right, now that kind of makes a lot of sense because we know that the pattern is to just continue to add 3. So we have 13, and then the next term, if we add 3 again, which would be 16, and that will be our a sub 5. So that is what the recursive formula is saying, is that you take any term, you take whatever's in front of it, and then add the difference, and that's how you get the next term.